Greetings. It is I, Vintilin, I guess. Yeah, just doing chapter 8 of Higurashi now. Oh, it's a bit close to my mouth. So I got asked by Ushi to aspire my friends last time, so yeah. Sleepy. That's me. Wow, that was a really big yawn, Kakachikun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until last night, I'm so tired right now. Oh, TV, huh? Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night? Yeah, how extremely vile. Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed of. You could not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out? This lunch break? No, seriously. My, you think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me, really angry. Ugh. This was just dreadful, just so sleepy. I snuck my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Get it out, Satoko-chan. Get you couldn't fall asleep. His sleeping face so cute. You can take him home later, let him be for now. Let's move over here, it'd be rude to Kakechi if you bothered him now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up, even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Ushi that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. To spend the day like this is almost as if the incident with Tomitaka-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Ushi just trying to deceive me? But it's probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learnt about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Ushi-san for this. Huh? What was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. He appears he vanished now that watched Onikakushi. Mian whispered to the others. Whispered to keep the others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. My little hand Rina's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitaka-san? Nearly attack. Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to during the conversation, it's much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep, listening on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me, there are others, right? Too? But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an Onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did however get the feeling it meant nothing good. All there was another, right? If it's Arishida-sama, yeah. But, this year at all? Grandma and Maya had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they would take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Then without us knowing someone had it. Them, you mean? Maybe. Next could me, I wonder. Don't worry, you got home safely. But it's not allowed, right? That was a long time ago, let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi. To be demoned away, but by the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitaka-san and that woman who really bugged me that I didn't know her name vanished after the watch Nagashi. The next thing that struck out to me when Rina said, "There's another one, right?" Mian only said if it's Arishida-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Arashida-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of Onikakushi. It seems that the curse and being demented away are different things, and they were a phenomenon that were paired together. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end could be best described as cursed. And the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demented away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rina. Rina was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Arashida-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Arashida-sama should be the guardian deity of Himizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Arashida-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there were no longer any distinction between them and regular outsiders. Rina said she came from a year ago, right? She came to the village a year ago, so maybe that's why. But if that was the case, then I would think I would be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rina. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. While they could just have like a grace period, I'm not too sure on the rules. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Ushi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions that left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answer to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret even having learned of these events. The teacher approaches. Kichi-san, you must awaken. In the distance I could hear the ring of the handbell, signaling the start of the afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. Ba 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 da ba ba. I hesitantly opened my eyes and raised my head. It was in that moment I leaned against the back of my seat. Ugh. There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat. And I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was asleep, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Ho. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Kichi-san? Take your seat. Clomp clomp wish briff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Bah, Kichi-san is being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Mabara-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko sticking her tongue out at me, that little brat. Come on, Mabara-kun. Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologize, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Ki-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. He switched to class representative mode. Outside. Inside. With the booming class finished, school was finally over for the day. I guess that was break time. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Firstly, I'd like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Ushi-san. Rina and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's right, today Kichi and I will be victorious. What should we do? We never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me? Hi, me. Mia looked over her shoulders as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Mia left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out her uncle's shop in town. Ah, I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy? There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So we're done today, I guess. Won't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. I do not mind, but is that fine for Rina-san and Rika? If Kichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we have everyone together. When you say it like that, I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Gonna buy some soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities? I guess so. What am I supposed to do? If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. Man, I'm really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I should give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho ho. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just... Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck at me. The murderer is Kichi, in the lounge with the rope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No! Kichi-san is such a beast. Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. Bah! I'll remember this Kichi-san. She was used as a plaything for a while. How unfortunate. Cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gathered up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect names, but I know something strange. Rina, Satoko, Rika, Kichi, Mion, Satoshi. Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Well, at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that the Satoshi fella is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Yuchi-kun, let's hurry and finish up cleaning. Being rushed by Rina, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, but we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rina had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rina, there must be quite a few people who transferred from the school, right? I tried asking Rina in a bit of a roundabout way. Rina made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah, Himazawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then, is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty immediate. I'm not trying to be mean. Just last year I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't really hear much about him. Sorry. I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's that's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered what kind of face I was making for just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Yeah, Kikachi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It's probably exactly the kind of face Fina said it was. It appears my grim expression had frightened her. Ah, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today, so I was just feeling a bit down. I rustled Vina's hair. Let's go home. Back in that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow just gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Kachi-kun, are you tired? Maybe. Rina timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm not sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah, you seemed to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live after all. Of course you've gotten tired since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's a... Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first too. I can tell, you know? You know? I wonder if Rena also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Himizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been joining the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. It was the same as Kichikun. I didn't really know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were um all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Mina told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of our first acquaintances and surprises were within good times. So Satoko got you too? Yeah. There was a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke. Then with that, yeah. That really takes me back. When were you invited to the club? The first day? Nah. There wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said she should stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. Okay. So when was Satoshi introduced exactly? She's never win. Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Haha. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transferred into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Mi-chan after that, but yeah, it might have only been since we moved here that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess Rina had also been left in the dark about Orishina-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about, when they finally told me about Orishina-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry, I just talking to myself. Kikechi-kun, you're so silly. Rina was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well, but I suddenly stopped, and after making up my mind I spoke. Hey Rina, is there something that everyone is keeping from me? Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that? Kikechi-kun? Her tone was still the same, cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regret saying something so rash. But she did come back at me in a way I didn't expect. Her eyes are different. Well then, Kachi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rina. Aren't you? Lies or secrets, aren't you? You are secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san, and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about, but I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Orishiro-sama. Then, are we even? No, I'm not. No lies, no secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and shook me. Rina stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Kakashi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. Clearly it wasn't a bluff, as if she knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of a car near the school gate with some man we didn't know. Rina knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Ushi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did somebody you didn't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Lies. Rina's scream echoed throughout the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rina Higura. Then who was it standing before me now? Who had assumed Rina Higura's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rina normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rina's usual smile, it chilled me to the bone. As she drew closer to me, I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rina's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked, as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Kachi-kun has secrets. It was Rina's usual smile, but her eyes were like that of a hawk. Bringing her face close to mine, to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rina, frightened me to my very core. I was terrified, knowing that she could hear the sound of my swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rina again, smiling at me once more. She started walking as if nothing had happened at all. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rina was out of my sight. Who was that? Why did she just walk off? I felt cold, my body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rina Higura? Higurashi, when they cry. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rina going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rina. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Rina, so tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rina like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around in my mind, finally I returned to my senses, as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Kichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Ushi, of the Akinomiya bookstore. Ushi-san? Oh, it's Ushi-san. Sorry, since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Ushi-san was, in his own way, a rather courteous. He doesn't want your parents knowing you're talking to a police officer, okay? Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. Well, a supposed police officer. I don't know if he is one yet. He hasn't shown any evidence, he just said he was one. I brought the cordless phone with me and as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay. He gave me the number from his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how has it been, Mabata-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beats around the bush. His adult conversation skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Ushi-san? Here I am. Born and raised in Akinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Ushi-san, do you know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a little happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Himizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Mabata-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not gonna talk, no, I'm not gonna tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Himizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean those pitchfork-having things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They'll go down to villages, snatch people up, and gobble them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people, is this what Onikakushi really means? They said that the curse and being demoned away happens together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away are happening together? First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Mabata-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rina and Mian talking. They said that if it really was Onikakushi, then both the curse and demoned away would happen. Ushi-san began hemming and moving on the end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. Mabata-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run. Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run but was demoned away? I don't know how to say that. Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Ushi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the practically ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on it. They stalked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he may be. Unless the police were completely incompetent, even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it a difference from her being demented away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body until a certain number of years has passed by law to still treat it as alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demented away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness and his wife committed suicide. Father-san, it's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Himizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to cover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigation headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could call these cases being demented away. It's just that, as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tommy Taxan had gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife being to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, well, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotic abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's house went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death, as you do. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning, for the last how do you accidentally swallow a spork? For the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I didn't realize that they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of the incidences. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demented away have something in common? Ushi mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee, second year was the wife of a dam supporter, third year was the wife of the Shinto priest, fourth year was the victim's family's child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Does that mean the fourth year's victim's child was different? It would have really stood out if it was all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Maybe it's just bonds in general. Come to think of it, I believe Tommy Taxan also told me the younger brother is alive and has mood, if I recall correctly. Because if it's just bonds, then all of them are linked, right? The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoted away. It was his seat? I recall this cold sensation that came from the desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it was connected to me. That chilling sensation. It was a feeling of Orishiro-sama's curse caressing the back of my neck. Orishiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Orishiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. The more I dug into it, the more mysterious it became. But I kept digging eventually. I'd reached the point where I learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rina. Rina said she may be the victim of the curse. You mean Rina Higurashi? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidences really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. Felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor, that someone who looked like Rina but wasn't Rina. That might be unrelated. All the strange things I felt from Rina today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigation on this end. Please continue your observations of Rina Higura Mabara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rina under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Mabara-san. I just want you to look out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock at the door set my heart racing. In an instant, I pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Catchy, get the door, please. And at the end of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It was so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies for calling so late. If you find anything else, please let me know. Tell you if I make any progress on this end. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Kichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. With what? What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone this whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on now, don't play around, Kichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. But what had gone into him? So what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. How could I explain I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was. This late at night, and nothing much, just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rina-chan. Question mark? She wasn't here. Come on now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd drink some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but cold sweat dripped down my neck. How long were we talking? Rina-chan went upstairs about half after, so I guess it's close to an hour, I guess. Saw her come up to the 2nd floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall upstairs. Rina came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Ushi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the 2nd floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. And after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rina? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rina had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All the ominous things and all the nonsense I spoke to Ushi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed crawlet. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rina might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Ushi-san, with my back turned. Mina was standing a mere 6 feet away this whole time. All that time in this dimly lit hall doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Higurashi. When they cry. Notice from the police chief. Lies. That's the updated model, isn't it? So it's not the original one that I have. July 1st, 1982, to Department 1212, XX, Prefectural Police Headquarters, Director General XXX, to the Chief Constable and all faculty managers regarding the case situated in the Himazawa Village. Notice. As cases in Shinobon City, Himazawa Village, have been reported by certain sectors of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. First, designate the following criminal investigation as classified: Akinomiya Station 1982 case number X, Himazawa Village housewife murder dated June XX, Akinomiya Station 1982 case number X, Himazawa Village student disappearance dated June XX. 2 is non-disclosure information. Akinomiya Station 1979 case number X, Himazawa Village site foreman murder dated June XX, Shira Station 1980 case number X, Shira Natural Park falling off incident June number X, Akinomiya Station 1981 case number X, Himazawa. I never got to read that, but yeah. Requesting self restriction from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference material 123, 1, 2, and 3. Management, access, preference, police headquarters, internal line XXX, police affairs department XXXX. What did I miss? Akinomiya Station 1981, case number X, Himazawa Village Shinto's priest wife disappearance date dated June XX. Huh. So it's 1983 at the moment. Okay. Alright then. And yeah, that should be it for this time. So yeah, that's not working. So yeah, bye bye. Bye.